Today on Let's Fish TV, we're at Toledo Bend Reservoir, easily my favorite lake in the entire country, and it is loaded with all sorts of big species of fish, whether it be catfish, crappie, bass. But today, we're going after bass, and we're going bed fishing, my favorite time of year. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. Got him!
Look at that big fella right there.
Oh my goodness.
Woo! Look at that slab of rooski.
There we go. There's one. Oh, that's a good one there. Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw. Today, we're at Toledo Bend Reservoir. Toledo Bend Reservoir is one of the largest lakes in the state of Texas. Heck, it's one of the largest lakes I've ever been to when it comes to fishing in the United States. It is absolutely enormous, a ton of miles of shoreline, and definitely loaded with a ton of different species of fish. Today we're going after largemouth bass, easily my favorite fish to catch when it comes to fishing on this lake. I know you've seen a lot of episodes here, but guys, this one's gonna be special. We're gonna be sight fishing, using our eyes to catch big bass off of beds. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. Meantime, I'm gonna head out there on the lake, get everything set up. We'll see y'all here in just a minute, hopefully catching one of those Toledo Bend lockers. When we head out on Toledo Bend today, I'm thinking of one thing and one thing only. The spawn is in the air. There's been more pollen running through this area in the last week or two than I've ever seen. We're on a very big warming trend. We've been in the 80s, high 80s every day. And up until this point, the fish have not spawned very well. I got a couple phone calls from a couple of buddies across the state of Texas, and they told me very specifically that it was going off everywhere. And when I take a deep dive look at Toledo Bend, the number one thing that I have seen is that this lake is getting ready to fire. The water is cleaning up. We have water temperatures that are really starting to spike up there in the high 60s. It's stabilizing, and what that means to me is the fish are getting ready to make a move. So let's get out there, let's see what we can catch, and hopefully we'll get on one of those Toledo Bend giants. I just need that male to stay out of that bed. He's trying to creep in. Yeah. She's up there just spinning around on the bed like nobody's business. She hadn't bit this one yet. Oh, she got her. Oh, I got her. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of that one. Cool. There we go. Oh, come here, baby. Come here, baby. I barely got you. Oh, there we go. Now that is what I'm talking about right there. Just barely had her. That's a Toledo Bend, big one. Guys, today we're on Toledo Bend, one of my favorite places. You see it often on my show, and it's because this place has fish like that. I mean, not very long, but just super, super fat. Golly. Toledo Bend during the spawn is so good. But guys, I'm gonna get my scale. We're gonna weigh this thing. I mean, it might only be, I don't know, 20 inches long, but let's see what it weighs. You never wanna leave these fish hanging out for too long. Yeah, just what I suspected, 695. 695. Guys, that fish is barely over 20 inches long, just super fat and thick. Let's get this fish back and we'll talk a little bit more about Toledo Bend and while we're here. But guys, that's how awesome Toledo Bend is right now. They're everywhere. These fish are just swimming the banks. They're moving up to spawn. The fish are biting here on Toledo. Fish weighed right at, I mean 0.05 away from 7 pounds, and it was only this long. Guys, imagine if one was like that long, how much it would weigh. There's a reason that just in the last week and a half or 2 weeks, there's been a vast number of 10 to 12 pound bass caught on this lake. And actually, just a few days ago, there was a 13. You need to get out, you need to go fishing. The fishing is hot, and it's definitely hot on Toledo Bend. But I'm gonna get back to it. I got fish everywhere around me. I'm gonna catch them.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my favorite part of the show, the Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia Coastal Fishing Report. This segment's brought to you by me, Captain Patrick Armisen with Ugly Fishing. You can check out my website at uglyfishing.com. You can book online, as well as some money-saving opportunities on the homepage with saltsgone, lurenet.com, and Pure Flats Fishing, creator of the Slick Lure. Here along the Alabama coast and Mississippi coast, a lot of guys have been focused on the sheephead and the sheephead spawn. Those fish have been absolutely everywhere on all structures, especially in the near shore areas. Once you move out into the Gulf a little bit or out into the Mississippi Sound, these fish generally like to be large numbers in congregations out on the deeper structures, say 30 feet and deeper. But you can certainly find some in shallower and 15 to 20 feet of water, and even shallower than that in some cases. Live shrimp, fiddler crabs, it really doesn't matter. Once you get around these fish, if you're around a bunch of them, they're just about to eat anything. We've actually been catching some on artificial shrimp, which has been a lot of fun. Along the Georgia coast, talked to Garrett Ross of Miss Judy's Charters. He said that the speckled trout bite is getting better and better every day, as well as the flounder bite. And he said that the king has been redfish. He said the redfish bite is really good in the creeks and the rivers. Live shrimp are near structure. So y'all, good luck if you get out anytime in the near future. Y'all remember, only keep what you need, leave the rest, and God bless, guys.
Oh, there we go. I want to show y'all something, guys. Look at this. Look how I have her hooked, like perfectly right there, because she kept nipping, and I had to go back to a baby rage crawl with no legs on it to actually get that fish to bite. Not a bad one. Guys, today we're out here on Toledo Bend. Caught one real big one. Fishing is great right now. The fish finally pushed up on the beds, and this is my favorite time of year to fish this lake. Now, don't get me wrong, this lake has been pushing out monster bass throughout the entire year. It has definitely become and re-become one of the best lakes in the entire country. Now guys, I know y'all see a lot of shows of me on this lake, and I try to do something different every single time I'm here, but I live here. And this is a place that I love to showcase. I love this area, and I love fishing on Toledo Bend. All right guys, we got one like right here. I'm working a big one kind of right there, and this one is so short but fat. I mean, just a super fat fish. I never even saw it when I came in here. That's why I'm standing down here, because it's literally like 5 feet from the boat. She's very active. Let's see, I'm gonna put it in there and see what she does. She's like sitting right on the bank. Gave her a little nudge. Let's see what she does now. Flip it back in there and let that thing sit. Let her come back. She wants to be on that bed. All right, let her get comfortable. And she's nosing on it. Eat it. Come on, baby. Oh. Just like that. Oh, look how fat that fish is. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm sitting here working a bigger one, quite a bit larger than this one. And I look down and I see that one. Perfectly in the mouth, right in the top, just perfect. That's what it takes. You gotta pay attention to little bitty details when you're out here. This is probably a 2.5 pound fish. As short as it is, they're just real fat right now. Fishing is fantastic, but guys, it's all about paying attention to the right bait. You know, like I'm alternating between two colors right now. I'm alternating between a white rage bug, that one little baby white crawl, just in case they get weird, and then a white rage bug. And the reason I'm doing that is because some fish like the green pumpkin and some fish like the white. And you kind of have to be ready for any fishing situation. So pay attention to how they react to your bait and it'll put more fish in your boat.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Power Pole, total boat control. Balls Out, made in the USA, heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on what powers you.
Alligator, there we go. There we go. They're chasing it all the way out of the bed right there. Yeah, the male's a 2-pounder, female's a 4-pounder, or 3.5 to 4. But they literally want to eat that bait so dang bad. Oop. I don't know which one's gonna eat it. One of them's bound to eat it. Oh, the male ate it and dropped it, thankfully. Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna target the female right now. The male kind of swam out. It should be. The male's like, wants it so bad too now. And the male didn't even want it at all last time. Rub on her a little bit. Oh, eat it, eat it, eat it. Oh. Alligator, there we go. There we go. Yeah, it's a little bigger. Oh, barely got her. There we go. Just like that. Not bad, not bad. Here on Toledo Bend, catching nice largemouth bass, guys. There's nothing that beats catching them off a bed. Let's get this fish back so she can get back to her where she's at. But guys, one thing I'm gonna talk to you real quick about is having the right equipment. And when I say the right equipment, I'm not just saying the right hook or anything like that, but having the right size rod and the right size line and the right gear ratio reel. So when you're bed fishing, you have big bass. I mean, we caught a 7-pounder today. That one was over 4. You really want to have a big rod. So in this situation, I'm using a Custom Light 7/6 flipping stick, okay, with 25-pound P-line tactical. I don't want to take a chance on losing that fish of a lifetime. Now, granted, we haven't caught one of those yet, but that's not to say we won't today. But a really, really nice one. Having a real fast gear ratio reel. This is an 8:3-to-1 gear ratio reel. The brand new Hyper Mag. Having that good equipment is the key to having success out here on the water. I'm gonna get back out there though. The fish are biting. There's a male sitting right there. I could have caught the male. I actually had to let the fish swim off with it to make sure I got the right one. Guys, there ain't nothing beats this.
Hey guys, Casey O'Donnell coming to you with your Southeast fishing report. We're back on Lake Guntersville this week because there's not a better numbers lake in the spring when you have fish that are in their pre-spawn, spawn, and post-spawn transitions. If you want to go to the bank, you can catch a bunch of fish on a wacky rig or a Texas rig creature bait. And then if you want to catch some of those fish that are done spawning or still pulling up, you can catch them cranking, Carolina rigging, football jigs, swim bait, depending on the conditions you have that day. And also, if you bring the kids, we have brim fishing that is starting now. Red worms and crickets are gonna be your best way to catch those. And if you wanna learn more about fishing, fish in all 3 phases, go to Casey O'Donnell on YouTube. I just did a video about Carolina rigging some of those type spots.
Oh, she got it. So guys, the reason I caught that one, obviously this isn't the biggest fish of the bunch, but this is the male that was sitting on the bed with the 4.5 pounder, okay? Never, ever, ever catch the male first, unless it's like complete last resort, don't catch it. I did that just to show you how easy it was to catch the male. It was literally like 2 flips in there. The first flip in there, it took my bait. Second flip in there, I caught it. I could have caught that male the entire time. Don't fall for the trap of catching the male, catch the female. You'll be glad you did. So now let's go find, I've got a real big one around the corner. I'm gonna go see if I can catch it. Real fast, I wanna talk to you about a simple maintenance item that you need to make sure you take care of before you hit the lake this spring. You know, right now the fish are biting, the water temps are warming, and we all want to go hit the lake. I know I do, especially. But one thing you need to make sure you take care of and make sure you check is the bolts that attach your power pole to the bracket. One thing that I do almost every single time that I hit the water is I'll come grab my pole and I'll wiggle it to see if it moves. And you'll always hear a little squeak if a bolt is loose. And sometimes you'll actually see the pole shift one way or another. In that situation, all you have to do is come take the side caps off the side of your power pole and attach a wrench on the front and back side and make sure those bolts are nice and snug. You know, those bolts will loosen over time. I don't care if you're in really rough conditions or just normal wear and tear of the product. So make sure you take care of those bolts before you hit the lake this spring. Guys, the fish are absolutely biting. Power poles make it easier for you, I can assure you that, especially when those fish get up on beds. You need to go check out powerpole.com and see all the great deals that they have on power poles right now. I might even need to go buy me an extra set. Actually, I will do that.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system. Alabama beaches. You'll get it when you get here. Fish tips. Connect with the experts to find fish fast.
Here we go. This is another one of those short, just fat ones. Here we go. This is another one of those short, just fat ones. Look at the size of that one. Golly. There you go, guys. Made a little bait mod on that one. I'm gonna walk y'all through it, but God, what a nice bass, man. Toledo Bend is loaded with this size fish. This right here is about a 16 to 18 inch fish and definitely over 4 pounds. Just a big fat one, like one of those real big fat ones. But I'm gonna show you what I did as a bait mod, and this is really, really important. When you get those fish like that one that are really short striking it, you got two options. You can either change your bait to maybe like a rage hawk, like a baby rage hawk, which is a new bait by Strike King that has the flappers on the side and just the worm body in the middle. Or you can take a regular rage crawl, just like that, take the legs off and make sure you detach these so they flap. So what this does is it sits in there and those flappers flap on the side and there's nothing but hook that they're gonna grab. And that's exactly what this fish was doing. It was just like almost tasting the bait. Every time I made a flip, I took those legs off and it was game over for that fish. But paying attention to your bait presentation, try your best not to fish too fast. That's exactly what we did there. We'd get the bait in there, we'll just barely shake it. Every once in a while we tap our rod, shake our rod tip, and a lot of times that's all it takes to catch those fish. I know it's just about to go donk. That's what should happen. Or go slack from swimming with it. Lord Almighty. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, I thought he had it there. I was wondering, man. Holy cow. And they're both that big. That's what's crazy. That's a good one there. He's over 4. There we go, guys. Guys, today on Toledo Bend, it has been an absolute blast. The fish are biting. I hope you've learned a few little things about how to catch these fish off beds. You've got to be patient though. That's the most important thing. And obviously trust your gut when you get out here on the water. But both of those fish were just tailing out of the water trying to eat my bait. And there's just not a better feeling in the world than having that happen. So, but I'm gonna head on in and I'll do a whole big breakdown on exactly what baits you need to try to land them on Toledo Bend.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Strike King, Tie One On, Glacier Outdoor, outdoors since 1982, Deep Dive, Decode Your Lake. Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
When it came to catching fish on Toledo Bend, I used a couple different baits to catch my fish. The very first thing I used was a rage bug. This is a green pumpkin rage bug, a 5/16 ounce Strike King tungsten weight, 20-pound Strike King tactical, 7.2 jig worm rod, and a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio hyper mag. Now this is the rod and reel that I'm gonna use day in and day out fishing for most of my bedding fish. 20-pound line, you know, a good size rage bug, green pumpkin in color. This is gonna be the one that I'm gonna try to catch my 3, 4, 5 pound fish on. Very confident in this setup. Now, thing about Toledo Bend and a lot of these big fish factories is you not need to always come prepared for battle with big equipment. That's right. When it came to catching my big ones, there was one rod and reel combo that I turned to that made a ton of difference in landing these fish. Now, I've done this for a long time. I've been taught by some of the very best sight fishermen out there, and I've spent a ton of time on the water. When it comes to catching really big fish off a bed, I never go light if I don't have to. This is a 7.6 heavy action, custom light speed stick, flipping stick. Guys, I know I could get away with a 7-foot medium heavy. I know I could get away with a 7.2 heavy, but why take the risk when you're hooking a 7, 8, or 9 pound bass? The 7.6 heavy is the way to go. Obviously, I was using the Strike King Rage Bug. I was alternating between white and green pumpkin, same size weight, an 8.3 to 1 reel, but here's the kicker. 25-pound P-line tactical fluorocarbon. It looks like rope from where you're sitting right now, but absolutely worth it when you're hooking one of those really big fish. Anytime you're bed fishing, and especially on this lake or a lake that has a lot of grass, vegetation, wood, the bigger the line you can get away with, the better the chance you have to land that fish. And that's exactly what happened today. I was able to get out there with my big line, big bait, and catch some big old bass. Guys, Toledo Bend is special. It's easily one of my favorite places I've ever been, and it never ceases to amaze me how great the fishing is out here. But one thing I want to leave you with today is anytime you're bed fishing and you're out there just having fun, it's okay to catch fish off a bed, but please put them back in the water. Don't keep those fish. Let the fish go through their spawning ritual and be able to produce more babies so we have more fish to catch in the future. That's my number one rule when I go bed fishing. Those fish go right back in the water so they can go right back on their bed. A lot of the fish I caught today, I was literally able to go past their beds within the hour, and those fish are locked right back down. So what that tells me is they're still going through their spawning ritual no matter if I caught them or didn't catch them. And that's all that matters when it comes to, you know, the purity of the sport and taking care of our resources. So guys, if you get out there and catch them, throw those fish back. And until next time, I'll see you on the water.